Very thirsty yesterday, subhanAllah. I'm just speaking a lot, I think. Check 1, 2. All right, brothers and sisters, are we ready? Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. So today, we are going to be on November the 2nd, 2025, day 2 of, yesterday we had a full day of dawah training, alhamdulillah, and we took the brothers and the sisters out, well actually it's brothers, sorry, not sisters. We took the brothers out and we did dawah training. So what we did was, we did the theoretical, and then we did the practical. So that means you got to learn the theory, what the theory is, and how you practically apply it. So today, after this training, inshallah, we're going to be going out again to now practice. So we're going to apply the same theory and practicality again for the da'is and the new Muslim mentors. And this way, because we believe that the da'is should be new Muslim mentors, and the new Muslim mentors should be da'is as well. Shouldn't be two separate roles. Because what happened is, that's what we were doing for a while. We were doing new Muslim support as a mentor, and then we had da'is. And what took place was that the da'is are completely disconnected with the new Muslims, because they're the first people that got the shahada. And the new Muslim mentors, who don't even know when the person is struggling, how we need to bring them back to explaining Islam. So because of this thing, one of the shifts, inshallah, we're focusing on for next year or this year coming up, is to start focusing on the da'i should know how to mentor new Muslims, and the new Muslims should know how to give dawah to their mentees. So, what we're saying now, I hope you guys had an eventful experience yesterday, for some of the brothers that are here from yesterday. And there are some people that are here that weren't here yesterday. Today's program is a new Muslim mentorship training. What that means is practical tips for dealing with new Muslims. It's a very short course, and it's basically getting the da'is themselves to understand that it's important for them to make the mentorship part and parcel of the dawah. So if you're giving dawah, like what's the fruit of dawah? What is the tamar, as they say in Arabic? What is the tamar of the dawah? What is the fruit? When you give dawah, what's the fruit? What are we looking for? Yeah. Agree. But when you give dawah, what's going to happen? Yeah, people are going to become Muslim. So the tamar, the fruit, is getting people to come to Islam, right? So that's the fruit, no? So I put it another way. If you had a business and you would have a customer that you want to come in, right? When the customer comes in, what do you want him to do? To buy something. So when somebody becomes a Muslim, they're the product. Now they're ready to buy something. They're buying something. What are they buying? They're buying their way into Jannah, to meet their Rabb, right? That's what they're buying, right? What are they buying? They're buying that relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The connection with Allah is what they're buying. So why am I explaining this, brothers and sisters? That sometimes da'is forget this element. Why do they forget this element? I'm sure all of you here watch dawah online. How many of you watch dawah online? Okay, majority of you watch dawah online. Now what happens is when you watch dawah online, it becomes kind of like of a celebrity. Oh, look, Sheikh Muhammad Ali, how amazing he is. Oh, look, Sheikh Uthman, how amazing he's giving dawah. I want to do it like that. So we forget what we're supposed to be doing, and we become like this. We want to be like them. Of course, we want khair for other people doing khair. We want to be in their khair. We're not saying what we don't want to be like them. Of course we do. But that being said, we gotta remember what is the end goal. The end goal is to guide people to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the end practical goal. So, not sure that many people after becoming Muslim leave Islam within a year or so. I'm not sure if you know that. And there's many reasons for that. We're going to go through some of them today. But just to let you know, one of the reasons is that many da'is feel, they just feel that, hey, I got his shahada, and I did my job, and Yawm al-Qiyamah, I'll tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala I gave him dawah, and that's it. So what they're missing out, or they're not understanding, the dawah does not stop at shahada. The dawah begins at shahada. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? When somebody accepts Islam, that's when the dawah begins actually. Dawah doesn't begin with giving flyers and handing out information about Islam or speaking to someone about God. That's when they say the shahada, right? That is when the dawah begins. And this is a misconception with da'is. And I've spoken to many of them, by the way. They literally don't care. Wallahi, I'm not saying they don't care because they're not sincere. Sincere brothers. And they want khair. They want khair for them. They want khair for the world. They want khair for the ummah. But they're like, bro, we're just too busy. We're just too busy. We're too busy getting shahadas. But those shahadas are not practically becoming Muslim. Saying the shahada, the testimony of faith, doesn't make you a Muslim per se. Yes, he enters you into Islam, right? But you haven't really become a Muslim. Because there's levels to being a Muslim, right? What are the levels? There's Islam, yes. Then there's Iman, the next level. And what's after that? Ihsan. So when they said the Shahada, they got Islam, but they didn't get Iman. So how do you get Iman? Iman is through your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your relationship, your salah, your dua, your dhikr. Your connection in ibadah. Your good deeds. Removing, when you're doing good deeds, removing your bad deeds. And so on and so forth. They are completely clueless of this. They believe that somebody took his shahada, he's a Muslim now. Yeah, alhamdulillah, his affair in the afterlife is between that person and Allah. We're not judging that person's akhirah. But I'm sure all of you know, and I'm not giving any fatwa because I'm not a scholar. I'm not making any statements. But there are many scholars, okay, that agree upon that the early generations said, if a Muslim is not praying, and I'm not talking about prayer out of ghafla or heedlessness, and out of lack of knowledge. I'm not talking about that kind of prayer. I'm like, he knows that he has an obligation to pray, and he doesn't do it. And he's just, I'm not going to do it. I don't care what obligation it is. This person has left Islam. I'm not talking about the scholars have a different opinion where the person didn't know salah was an obligation. Maybe he didn't know how to do it. Maybe he was, in ghafla, and many other reasons. I'm not saying, that's why I'm not giving you a fatwa. So the goal isn't to get someone to become a Muslim. That isn't the goal. And a lot of brothers, they've made giving dawah the goal. The goal is for the da'i to get person to understand what he's jumping into. I'm not saying he has to convince him about the whole of Islam to now get him to say the Shahada, but at least get him to understand, because today's world, people believe jumping into a religion is like changing underwear. Today I wear a pink underwear, tomorrow I wear a purple underwear, and then I'll wear a green underwear. You understand? What I mean is, I today become a Buddhist, then I'll try Christianity, then I'll try New Age spirituality, then I'll try Hinduism, then I'll try Islam, and I'll see which one fits my needs, which one I like better. Are you with me? So sometimes people are saying shahadas and they don't even know what they're saying. Because nobody's explaining to them what you're saying, what does that really mean? Because when the Sahabas, said the shahada, they understood what it entailed. Right? Are you guys with me? Are you with me? So I'm just setting this up for you guys to understand why there's a need for this course. Because this course isn't to teach you how to pray. This course isn't to teach you how to make wudu. This course isn't about how your salah should be better. This course isn't about, all of the Islamic theological positions in. This course is to create awareness with the Muslims and the da'is to know that there is a crisis among the Muslims, and Muslims are just oblivious about it. They don't even know it. That's what this course is about. So if they're oblivious, somebody needs to make them aware that, hey guys, you're oblivious about this. So once you know, they say once there's a problem and you know the problem, then you look for the solutions. But if you don't even know you have a problem, you're never going to look for solutions. So the Muslim doesn't even know that there's a problem. They don't even know. They think, hey, somebody took shahada, takbir, Allahu Akbar. Everybody comes, gives them a hug. The brother is happy. The Muslims are happy. Photos are taken. Videos are taken. And then that new Muslim is nowhere to be found. And that brother or sister, right after the shahada, he's sitting there by himself. He's like, okay, what's next? He has no roadmap. He has no clue. He has no idea what's going to happen next. He goes home. The shaitan is working extra hard on him now. Shaitan is like, yeah, here's another one I need to work on because he's leaving my camp. So what you did is wrong. What you have done is crazy. Why did you accept this worldview? What's going to happen to you? These Muslims are like this, and they're family members, and so on. There's just so many things that are going on with them. And this is where the crisis is. That Muslims are not aware, and how they tackle this is a very, I choose my words very correctly. It's not in the correct way. That's all I want to just say. So that's what this course is about, is practical tips how to deal with new Muslims. Okay? That's what this is about. So before we begin, I want to ask you a question. Have any of you among yourselves have actually gotten a shahada for yourself? With a show of hands. That you were speaking to someone and you shared some information and the other person, I said accept, and then that person became Muslim because of how you were explaining Islam for whatever reason. Anybody here? So one sister there. Any brothers? None of your brothers had shahadas? Okay. Okay. Any of you here have witnessed somebody getting a shahada? Okay. Okay. Almost all of you here have witnessed somebody accepting Islam. How does that make you feel? I got a thumbs up. I need a little bit of verbiage. Makes you feel happy. Okay? Makes you feel emotional. Okay, sisters? Give the mic to your sisters here. Somebody wants to speak up? Just here, I'll give it to you and then you can pass it on to whoever you want. So, how does it make you feel when somebody gets the shahada? When somebody becomes a Muslim?
I feel a big responsibility because I think that a lot of people seeking to change their religion, they are looking for the peace of mind and peace of heart.
Yeah.
And the thing that they don't know is that life has challenges. So it's not gonna be always that state of peacefulness, right?
Yeah.
And you're inside your heart. Even when you are on the right path, on the right track, you will still have struggles in life.
Yeah.
And the thing I fear the most is when they lose that beginning of excitement with that lovely new feeling of peacefulness, and they start facing challenges in life or abandonment from family members or other things in life,
Yeah.
that they question whether they are on the right track or not, right? So it is important for people when they look for religion that it's not about finding just that beautiful feeling inside your heart. It is also about knowing the challenges that you're going to face.
Right.
And this is also one of the reasons some of them from the beginning, they refuse because they look for that peacefulness and meditation. So they will look maybe into things like Buddhism, for example, because there is a lot of that solitude or that actions of just kind of, I don't know what to say, but it's like very similar to yoga. Like it's those serenities and exercises of just mindfulness, right?
Yeah.
So the main thing is they are looking for the peacefulness inside them, like from all of what's happening in the world. They just want to detach from all everything is going on.
Yeah.
And that also challenge and responsibility for us, because you don't want to give them like the sweetness and then leave them in the middle of the way. Well, when things turn bitter because of life challenges, they question whether that was right or wrong.
Okay, so just to kind of ask, sister, that was a good way of insight into looking into how they would perceive things and, you know, trying to be empathetic to their worldview. So when somebody takes the Shahada, when somebody becomes a Muslim, most of us here feel that, you know, this person has got a new life, right? Like, I mean, what do you feel? Like, let's talk about what do you kind of feel? How, when you witnessed that Shahada, when you were in that stage, put your hands up if you witnessed the Shahada. Okay. I want you to give me your experience. Close your eyes or think about it the moment you got the Shahada. When you were there, what did it make you feel at that moment? Yeah. So the brother feels excited for them that they're going to read Salah, Dua, and Dhikr. Good. Anybody else? Yes. He feels, the brother said he feels they need help. Excellent. What did you feel when you saw the Shahada or when you see someone getting Shahada? Okay, you feel that they might commit sin after they were purified. Yes, sister? They shouldn't be left alone. You feel that this man or this woman should not be left alone. So they need... Yeah, it should be surrounded by Muslims. Excellent. So what did you feel? I want you to take yourself back to when you were witnessing that Shahada. You felt hope in the Ummah and the society. Allahu Akbar. Good, inshallah. Okay. Somebody else, sister. Just somebody hasn't spoken. You start thinking about responsibility. Okay. It's a big step in their life. Okay, how many new Muslims here with a show of hand? 1, 2, 3, 3 new Muslims? Okay, alhamdulillah, it's good. So let's ask them, how did you feel? So let's ask the new Muslims, how did they feel? So can I have the mic, because I like to hear from them. So how did you feel when you got your Shahada? So just take you back for a moment, just think about it, close your eyes, or if you have to, just take you back at that moment when those words are being uttered.
Okay, I reverted to Islam
Yeah.
in around 4 years ago.
Okay.
And when I came to Islam, I was looking for proofs. I was looking for knowledge from the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke with Arj, brother Arj, and he gave me some like really good proofs, and I was convinced of Islam. And then eventually we set up my shahada at this masjid here. And as soon as I said my shahada, like the first thing that I was very excited. I was thinking like, wow, I'm Muslim now. And the very first thing that I just wanted to do was like, how can I take action in this community? How can I be a part of the community? Where can I go to learn? What is waiting for me? Like, who do I go to? I just wanted to become a part of the community in some way and to get education.
Amazing. All right. So that was kind of your experience, how you were feeling at that moment. That's what you were feeling.
Yeah, I was feeling very excited. There was like this newfound energy inside of me.
Okay. Okay. Jazakallah khair. Sisters? Any other revert sisters here? If you guys can just maybe come up here, because they're going to ask you to do some group stuff. So you're going to have to come up anyway eventually. Fine, if you're comfortable, then it's fine for now, inshallah.
I felt happy. Like it was like a weight lifted off my shoulder.
Okay.
Like it was like any like past troubles like were all gone, and it was like a new beginning. Like it's literally like what they say, like you're reborn. And that's what it felt like. Like everything previously was gone, and like it was a new life starting.
Okay, excellent. Who else? The brother here already. Oh, there's another brother here. Yes, sorry. Oh yeah, it's good. We go back and forth actually.
Same goes for me. When I took my shahada, I felt a big weight off my shoulders. I was told that when you convert, you're pretty much a new baby. Yeah. So again, all the past struggles kind of just went away, and I felt like I was starting a new chapter in my life. And alhamdulillah, it's been great since. I've had the most important thing was having people around me. Yeah. Especially as a revert, family's a big thing when you're alone at home. You don't really have that support system, but being able to go out and have people to talk to that can guide you the right way definitely made it a good experience.
Okay.
It made it easier for me.
Okay, alhamdulillah. All right. So, I want you guys to do me a favor. Just take a picture of this, or just remember the question. I don't want you to answer them now. I just want you to think about these questions. So the question number 1 is, new Muslims are usually have a stronger iman than born Muslims because they chose to be a Muslim. So that's question number 1. Don't answer it. I just want you to think about it. Because after we go through the exercise of today, we're going to come back to these questions. Okay? Second question, new Muslims need extra support because of their situation. Okay? That's the next question. The third question is, new Muslims are more tested than other Muslims. So I just want you to just think about these questions for yourself. And then when we go through our workshop for today, we'll come back to these questions. Okay? Good? All right. So what are the common challenges that are faced by new Muslims? What experiences do they have in dealing with them as reverts? So what do you guys think? What are some of the challenges new Muslims have? Yeah. Their family. Yes. Okay. Some of them support, some of them don't support. Okay, good, good. What else? What are some of the challenges you've had, brother? Wait, the mic, the brother? Yeah. Yeah, just so the sisters can hear you.
So when you're just entering Islam, you don't have that knowledge like someone who was born into the faith.
Yeah.
You don't have that practical experience. You haven't had people around you as often, like praying, how to pray properly, what you should do, what you should not do. So just being able to find out which direction to head into and connecting with the right people that's one of the big challenges I faced.
Okay. Maybe let's hear from the new Muslim brothers. Yeah, first, and then we'll ask the Muslim community. Yeah. What are the common challenges that are? It doesn't have to be you, by the way. You could have had a great experience, but just generally what you think new Muslims would go through.
Again, I would just say a sense of direction, because it's a big change in their life, and then people often view, converting as like a huge thing, so they don't know where to start. They don't know really. They just get overwhelmed.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? Let's go maybe to some of the sisters. Is this? Yeah. Here, can we just give the mic to the sister in the back?
Learning about Islam.
Learning about Islam. Okay. So the challenge is learning Islam. Sister, if you maybe give it to the mic over there for the sister.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I could see that, like women, right?
Yeah.
Some of their problem is their lifestyle, like their clothes, they're wearing hijab, and everything about their looks. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
So sister feels that
yeah.
the biggest challenge they have is their clothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes, brother. Right. Okay, good. Anybody else? Yeah. 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 With the regular mat.
Normally, and I had to put my mat out, stand out a bit. It makes it's kind of alien.
Yeah.
The culture, people are dressing differently.
Yeah.
It's like I was
Yeah, of course.
from a
European background, yeah.
get used to.
Yes.
Totally different experience.
Yeah. So the brother is saying, just to repeat for the sisters that can't hear, so when he reverted, he relied on a mat that taught him some of the movements, maybe even some words on it. And he was putting that out there, and sometimes the people will look at him, so he felt a bit alienated. And the experience of different people, different languages, different culture, different smells, like oud and so on. So it's a completely new world. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. You feel that a Muslim should be a new Muslim. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
To go to masjid. Keep practicing ibadat. How? Like some people, some Muslim brother, they said it's not important to go to the masjid.
Okay.
How? How do you want to increase your iman? You have to go. You have to bring your nawafil. This is for Muslim before non-Muslim.
Yes.
Because if non-Muslim is Muslim do it like that, he increase his iman, and then he trying to teach. This is experience what happened to me.
Yeah.
You should because I feel yesterday, okay, a Muslim here.
Yeah.
They are not practicing. Their iman is still what? It's weak.
Yeah. So they have Islam, but their iman is weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to increase your iman? Ibadat. For me, do qiyam. Qiyam is very important.
Yes.
It's melt your heart.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Really.
Yes, of course. Jazakallah khair.
And new Muslim, I feel when I see new Muslim, I think inside myself, okay, maybe he needs help. To take him
Yeah.
to.
Allah make it easy for you, brother. Jazakallah khair. With that compassion and empathy. Yes, sister. There's a sister over there. You just passed that behind you.
So from just observing my convert friends, most of them are not here. They're in Europe. So one of the biggest challenges they have is finding company. Like, alhamdulillah, we have a lot of Muslims here and masjids in Canada, but sometimes the whole city there doesn't have a masjid, or it's very, very far away from them. So I think the biggest challenge they had is to find a company, and also to be able to perform prayers while at work or at school, where they are kind of shy to tell others, or like they're not very comfortable. They don't know how they will be accepted by the rest of the community.
Yeah.
So that was one of their biggest challenge.
Okay.
And at some point also getting married was one of their challenges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khair. So the sister, just for brothers, you heard, I'm sure. Challenges is having the right people around them, connecting to a mosque. Maybe it's not close where some of our friends are in Britain. Some of the northern Britain areas, I heard that the Islam is not as well versed as the core of London and Birmingham and these kind of places. So, okay, good. So what we did is, we've done these kind of exercises. We have some personal experience as an organization, being global, and being able to see what's happening from our experience and tajribah, that we have compiled some list of things that the new Muslims face. So we believe, I'm sure there's more, but these are the, we believe that are probably the highest challenges in this order that new Muslims fail. Some might have other challenges that are in other ways, of course, but generally, these are some of the things they feel. So, I want you to just ask yourself this question. I just want you to ask yourself a question. Because you won't understand this until you really ask yourself. I'll put the slides up in a minute. Just for 1 minute, I just want you to just ask yourself a question. My sister taking a picture. So just for a minute, ask yourself this question. For Muslims especially. Imagine, may Allah protect our kids, may Allah protect our family. Somebody in your family comes home and says that I'm leaving Islam and I'm becoming a Christian, or a Hindu, or a Buddhist. How would that make you feel? Very bad. Let's say if it's your brother, or your daughter, or your son, or your husband, or your wife. How would it make you feel? If someone you know in your family, someone close to you, is leaving Islam and becoming a Christian, Hindu, whatever, how would it make you feel? Yeah, brother. Okay, so you could have done more. All right? Okay, anybody else? How would it make you feel? Yeah. Give her a mic, sorry. Your mic here? Just give her the mic, sorry.
I would be surprised and upset because if they do that, it basically means that they feel that I haven't done a lot when talking about religion with them and why are religions very important.
Right. Okay. Can I have my iPad? It's in the bag. Okay. Anybody else? Yes, sister, go ahead.
I would feel kind of like you might feel in like a big emergency, like something pretty bad is happening and something needs to be done right now.
Okay. Something that needs to be done right now. Okay. Yeah. Can I have the mic here for the brother? Just because I think there's some people in listening on live.
I just would like to relate a personal experience of mine.
Yeah.
Since I come from a Christian household,
yeah,
my brother, he wasn't really raised religious, and he doesn't really have any conviction,
yeah,
in any faith or anything.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to guide him, but just knowing the fact that he doesn't have any faith in Allah or any God, it hurts me inside, and it makes me worried about his future, because without having any guidance, God knows, like maybe he could like go down the wrong path or something. So you really worry about your family.
Okay, good. Sakal khair. Anybody else, sisters? Okay, yeah, I get it. All right. So here's some of the top things that the new Muslims feel or they go through when they accept Islam. Let's go through some of them. Abandoned by family, which I'm sure many of you said already. Forced to leave their home to hide one's faith. I forgot one thing. If that person, for the Muslims, if their family members had left Islam, what would you guys do? What would you do? May Allah protect our families. But let's say if our brother or a son or a daughter left Islam, what would we do? Yeah. You would give him some advice. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. If he doesn't listen, it's important to save yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For example, you have to go to save yourself.
Okay.
Because sometimes...
So what would you do? You would just leave him?
Not leave him.
Okay.
Give him advice.
So once you give him advice and he's not listening, what do you do?
I will try many times.
You would try many times. Okay.
If doesn't, maybe...
You don't know. It's okay. Sister?
I would say that it is a bad idea to leave Islam because...
what would you do?
I would explain to that person that it is a bad idea to leave Islam because our religion is very important, as it teaches us to be a good human being, pure, as we learn what's right and what's wrong, and Islam also teaches us how to protect ourselves.
I get it.
And
so
get what's
these are
best
things
for us.
what we get from Islam. I get those things. I'm asking, what would you physically do? Physically. Not how you would feel. Yeah, what would you do? So you're speaking to them, that's physical. That's something you said you will speak to them. What else would you do?
Well, I would just speak to them, but about doing something physically,
videos?
I don't know.
Would you send them YouTube videos?
Sorry?
Would you bring them to an Imam? Would you send them YouTube videos about Islam? Would you have discussions with, like, what will you do? What else would you do?
You're asking me what I would do physically, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Giving them videos and advising them to go to the Imam would be two of the ways.
What else would you do? This is someone you love, you care about. Maybe some sisters in the back, they want to raise their hand. Yeah. No, it was yourself and then the other one here. Yourself, you raised the hand. Yeah.
So I start first.
Is this working, the mic?
Yeah, it is working. So I think the very important thing first is the first step is to listen to them first, to understand what happened and what is the reason beyond their decision.
MashaAllah, you would listen. Okay,
yeah,
good.
I have to listen first, and even if I'm not convinced, I have to show them compassion so that I'm not repelling them away further, right? So it is very important that we don't treat them as like, okay, like we're not on the same side anymore, or like there's an issue.
Yeah.
It's very important to kind of embrace them, embrace their feelings, acknowledge they are going through some trouble or suffering. They are humans.
Yeah.
So we have to listen what is going on. If I do have the answers, I will respond to their questions and their answers. If I don't, then I will guide them towards the resources for that. So if there's an online resources or verses from the Quran, I will do that. If there's an Imam or a scholar who talked about that or can help us with that, then I will ask for that support.
Okay.
I will not leave them alone. I will try to stay around and accompany them. And the second thing is the third thing actually after the resources is I will have them in my dua. I will make dua for them all the time, so that may Allah kind of opens their heart once more again.
Okay, so here's why I asked this question. The reason I asked is to put you in the footstep of someone who has accepted Islam, and when they become Muslim, just like that, their family members are doing something. This is the part we forget. We forget that just like you would do anything to save your family members because you believe that Islam is the way that's going to be from salvation. They believe leaving Christianity, it was the way, and now you're eternally doomed. So they are going to work very hard to bring them back to Christianity. So they're going to struggle hard, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop now just because, he's speaking as a Muslim or he's living like a... They're actually going to work harder. I'll give you one personal experience of my own. Somebody accepted Islam with me. This was early days of my dawah, maybe 2015. I knew nothing about Islam. And nothing means I wasn't very well versed with how to tackle new Muslims, how to do dawah. I didn't know many things. And this one brother, he was at my job. I'm not going to say it on name because it's being recorded. He was at my work where I work in a corporation. He accepted Islam. And when he went home and he told this very practicing Muslim, praying 5 times a day, already starting to fast, it was amazing. Probably even a better Muslim than me at that time. I noticed that he's told me that when he went home, his wife became extremely good to him. Not good. She would roll out the mat for him. She would go and buy halal meat for him. She did every single thing she could. Why am I giving this story? Eventually, obviously she took him to the pastor. The pastor started putting doubts in her. And I remember, because at the time you don't know many things. I didn't know many things. Because the doubts have been put on him from so many different angles. I have so many stories to give you, but I'll give you one to start with. Eventually, he asked me a question about something about his studying Islam. So at the time, I didn't know. I just say, here, you know, like yesterday the brother asked me, where do I go study? I say, here's AMAU, right? I gave you AMAU, right? I mean, I find the brothers to be good brothers, so I'm doing it, I give it to you. Back then, they didn't have things like AMAU, so was good at the time, and still good, by the way. It's IOU, Islamic Online University. Who runs IOU? Does anybody know? Bilal Phillips. And what's said about Bilal Phillips online? Some negative things about him. So this brother was, because he was being bombarded with his family by, shubhats and doubts in a way that they were showing love and mercy to him to only so they can give him doubts. He was now looking for a way out. He wanted to leave Islam. He just was waiting for something for me to say, and that would be his trigger to say that Islam is false. So he asked me about, what should I do? I said, I heard this university called IOU, really good. And then he sent me a message. This guy, Bilal Phillips, he's a terrorist. You Muslims are all terrorists. You're trying to get me to terrorist. And boom. I never heard from him again. Worked in the same office. I can see him sitting for me about 3 offices over. So what I'm trying to explain from this experience, that once someone becomes a Muslim, the opposite is true. They're going to work as hard, and they don't have to be Christian practicing, by the way. They could be atheists. Their parents could be atheists. They're going to work as hard to convince that person to leave Islam. How they do it may not be direct, maybe indirect, maybe gestures, maybe mocking, maybe different ways. But I just need you to know that the Muslims don't know this part. So that's why I just wanted to put you in there, because if you're not in the shoe of someone, so this is what we talk about empathy, right? What is empathy? Empathy isn't feeling bad for someone who's homeless. Empathy is to try to come from a position that if I was homeless, how would it make me feel? That is true empathy. Empathy isn't, oh my God, he's homeless, let me give him a few dollars. It's not empathy. Empathy is, oh my God, if I was in this position, Allah has protected me from this position, how would I feel? So I want all of you to have empathy for our brothers and sisters that have joined Islam. To first understand what are they going through before we can look for practical solutions, how to help them. But if we don't even know what challenges they have, how can we solve their challenges? Yes? We don't even know what they're going through. How can we help them? So we need to know first ourselves, and this includes me, by the way. It doesn't, just because I'm on this side of the table doesn't make me prone, oh, I'm so knowledgeable. No. I'm as vulnerable of misconceptions and misunderstandings as you are. So that's why this is practically working together. Of course, we may have some information based on information that we're studying and looking and see what's happening. But it's to work together and to kind of find the solutions for these challenges. Okay. Yeah, sure. Bismillah. Yeah, we do. Sisters have it. Yeah. So the sisters can hear. Can I have the mic? Yeah.
This is from my experience.
Yeah.
I feel like a sister, she said, like, give her advice or make dua or something like that. This is, from my experience, one of my member family. I give him all the advice. I talk to him like in too many ways, like emotionally,
psychologically,
everything.
Yes.
But it doesn't work because not to work in himself. This is the important something. We cannot here. Nobody he can fix something inside anyone.
Yeah, of course.
He should to work in himself.
100%. So here's the thing, right? So there's two elements. There's the element of the new Muslim, and there's the element of the Muslim. We have to come together.
Yeah.
It's not Muslims doing all the work, and the non-Muslim just has to just sit there and say, yeah, feed me. Yeah, pay my bills. Yeah, I'm not going to pray, you pray for me. So they have to do some effort, and we have to do effort. However, what we're trying to just figure out, because we can't make someone sincere, like you said, but we can make ourselves sincere, right? So that's what we're working on ourselves first. And then we can find out, and as we discuss, where the new Muslims at, and then we can tackle those challenges. You understand what I'm saying? So I agree with you. Jazakallah khair.
Sometimes we meet some people, they say, brother, please pray, something like that. He
Yeah.
said, Allah yahdina,
Yeah.
for example. Because Allah, He said, وَلَقَدْ هَدَيْنَاهُمْ
Yeah.
النَّجْدَيْنِ. He trying to think about shar and khair.
Yes.
This is like, yeah, as you said, like, should the person work in himself to increase his iman.
Good. Jazakallah khair. Okay, so some of the challenges that the new Muslims are going through, like we said, abandonment from their family, right? Forced to leave their home or hide one's faith. Like in UK, there's a brother who converted from Sikhism to Islam, and the brother, what he was doing, because they have to wear a turban, he would put on the turban at home, obviously, and he would go to the masjid, and he had a car with tinted windows. He would get in the parking lot of the masjid, take off the turban, put on his, topi and hat and whatever else he wanted to put on, go inside and pray with a thobe and so on. So come back out, take the thobe off, take the topi off, put the turban back on in his tinted window, and drive back home. So he was living two worlds. And he was doing that for almost 12 years. Okay? I personally knew someone personally who accepted Islam, and they were completely living two identities. With me, they were a Muslim. When they were with their family, they were a Christian. And didn't know where to go. I'm just giving you some things that we've seen and witnessed, to really for you to just understand. Okay? So forced to leave your home. Many times new Muslims are kicked out of their homes. Right? Unemployment and termination. I'm not saying this to show you that I'm a better guy, because I have a lot of sins and a lot of shortcomings. We had new Muslim recently in our last place we were staying at. The brother had nowhere to go. He was living out of a bank. You know the ATM machines at night, they're open. He would open it up and he would sleep there all night. We had to find him a place. Couldn't find a place. He didn't have any passport, didn't have a license, didn't have any idea. This is real stuff I'm telling you. So I couldn't, the masjid do not let people stay at night because of the safety reasons. He couldn't stay in the masjid. I had nowhere to send him. I couldn't even get him a B&B. I got him a B&B one day. The next day, I had no funds. I was like, how do I even help this guy? I'm talking about immediately. Okay, I understand after some time things will work out, but I'm talking about that moment. So I'm like, what do I do? So subhanAllah, I brought him to the house and we had a shed. So I put him in the shed, made a nice comfortable bed, put a heater in there. It was freezing in there. All night I was literally freaking out. If this man dies in my shed because it's so cold, what am I going to do? Even though I know I put a heater there, there's a blanket there, there's a bed there, but I'm still free. I couldn't sleep all night. Just couldn't sleep all night. SubhanAllah, the next day I said to my wife, I know men are not allowed to be in the house with the women, but we have to make exceptions to the rule today. I had to bring the brother in and let him sleep. My wife and my daughter is home, and I had to give him my office. He was using my office. Slept there for a whole week. He would leave in the morning, stay in the masjid all day, come back at night. It was a challenge. Didn't have a job, didn't have a passport, didn't have an ID. Had to go get him a passport. He was Trinidadian. Trinidad laws and understanding. It was just a chaos. Traveling to Toronto to get his passport. And just, it went on and on and on. Eventually said, what can you do? Showed him, he's like, oh, I know how to clean cars. I can clean cars. I gave him all the tools so he could start car cleaning business. Got him flyers, business cards, set it all up. Started doing that. Started looking for a job. And just on and on. Eventually, the end of the story is, may Allah keep him on Islam. In the end of the story is, he found a job, found him a room for rent from a Muslim brother, and got him a bicycle, electrical bike, so he can go to his job back and forth. So we put him in a place. And I don't want to tell you the ending because he's still not fully practicing. Still struggling. So it's, yes, we took care of his financial means, but his spiritual means are wavering. And I'm not saying because it could be different reason. Maybe he wasn't 100% coherent. So it could be many different reasons. I'm just giving you some scenarios, and there's many more. I have another brother named David. Actually, I'm actually doing some fundraising for him. He needs $6,000 because he's being deported. He doesn't have any papers in Canada. He accepted Islam. His mother became Muslim. His father became Muslim. Everybody in his house has accepted Islam, and he's the only breadwinner. And now that he's being deported, we have a crisis. I'm just saying, so it's not just one challenge. I'm just giving you my anecdotal things that we're dealing with. I'm sure this masjid, the sheikh probably hears 1,000 different things. I'm sure you guys have more things than even I know. What I'm trying to say is, unemployment, debt, financial difficulty. Okay? There's so many stories. I don't want to go to them because I'll be here all day. Victim abuse. Okay? Legal troubles. Just we talked about one guy. Developing doubts. Okay? Don't know who to ask. Muslims have either don't know themselves or can't give satisfactory answers. Very little knowledge about Islam beyond the basics. Not practicing the basics, obligations of Islam. Okay? Not receiving enough help from the local Muslim community. Loneliness. Some new Muslims are lonely. Identity crisis. As soon as somebody becomes a Muslim, what do they say? Okay, what's your name now? Let's give you a Muslim name. We're literally removing their whole identity, who they are. So I'm just making you aware of some of the challenges that the new Muslims are going through. These are some of the top. I'm sure there's more. But these are the top 12 challenges that we've kind of looked at that the new Muslims are going through. So when we see the Shahada, brothers and sisters, I just want to give you this wake-up reality call for the Muslims that are in this room and the new Muslims and the Muslims that are watching this. When somebody takes a Shahada and we all feel amazing and excited, okay, so from very few research we have done on this topic, in reality is that 40 to 50% of the new converts do not remain upon Islam or not becoming practicing Muslim. Okay? The Muslim community, many people learn how to plant the seed, how to give dawah, but very few how to make it grow. So what we're saying here is, yes, we're quick to get shahadas. We're quick to go out and hand flyers and talk to non-Muslims and feel excited about giving dawah. But we're not looking at, okay, once he becomes Muslim, what do we do? So this is where we're at, yeah? So I have this, there's a video here that I'd like to put it on. I'm not sure how I can play it. Play it in a sense that I don't know how I can get you the audio. The video is easy. I can just maybe put the mic here. I'm not sure. Try. recent. Okay. Know what's up. The audio is coming out through the HDMI. Sound. Turn on the
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
I would like for you to come on a journey with me.
Sisters, I have an announcement. Sister wants to take the shahada. Ashhadu.
Ashhadu.
Allah.
ilaha illallah.
The important thing is that you cover and wear proper hijab, pray and don't eat pork anymore. Everything else will come later.
Mum, Dad, I've got something to tell you. I've become a Muslim.
Oh, so we're a terrorist now? Not in our home. You've got to leave this evil religion or there's no coming back here. Get out and go and ask your Muslims to help you.
Please. I just need to stay with you just for a little while.
MashaAllah, I can't believe you've been Muslim for 2 months and you're not married yet. There's this brother who's looking to get married. You can't stay on your own, you need to get married.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not ready yet.
Dad, I congratulate you on the marriage.
You're going to become a father.
Alhamdulillah, great news. You want the angels to curse you?
Why are you chatting to sisters online?
Why do you want me? You keep treating me like this.
Just shut up. Shut your mouth and don't question me.
Oh, MashaAllah. Congratulations to you both.
need your help. I've got nowhere to go. So you're still following this nonsense. You've been beaten black and blue, divorced, and you still believe in your Allah.
Allahu Akbar.
You need to leave.
Please, can I stay at yours? Or please, just lend me some money. I'll pay you back, inshallah.
Sorry, sister, we need the space for Dawood. He's 4 now. Inshallah, you'll find something. Maybe ask the masjid.
Remember when we used to be at school? We used to look out for each other.
Why would Allah do this to me? I left everything for Islam. And what do I have? No husband. My parents don't want to know me unless I leave Islam.
Don't worry, you'll be alright.
They beat me up, and I had nowhere to go. Not one person was there to help me.
It's because he left Jesus.
I'm just tired and just so confused. I just can't do this anymore.
It's okay, you'll figure it out.
To be honest, I don't even know if I believed in Islam in the first place. Just look at the mess I'm in. I just don't know if I want to be Muslim anymore.
Look, just come back to Jesus. Jesus is always there. Why don't we meet up?
I'm just really, really tired. I just can't do it anymore. I've lost everything. No one has helped me.
Sister, please don't worry. Now that you've contacted Solace, we promise to do our best to help you. I can hear you're in a lot of pain, but please know we're going to arrange for you to have someone to listen to you and help you to get out of this dark place. Sister, your Lord loves you, and whilst you feel that no one has helped you, we are here to really help you change your situation for the better, inshallah. Are you there? I need to take a few details from you. What's your name?
The challenge is we see this every day. It's not about this woman. It's about seeing this over. Please forgive me. So, I have a question. Would you ever like to be in the time of the Prophet ﷺ? With a show of hands. You were living in the time of the Prophet ﷺ. I'm sure you know all of the people that were accepting Islam were converts to Islam. They were all new Muslims. All of the Sahabas were non-Muslim at some point. Many of them, their parents abandoned them, threw them out. Some of them were going through some serious difficulties, financial issues, family relationships, and so on and so forth. I don't think it was any different than what we're going through now. Right? What did they do? How did they live? How did they deal with this? There's an ayah in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about, right? As for those who have settled in the city and embraced the faith before the arrival of the immigrants, they love whatever the immigrants to them, and whatever of the gains is given to the immigrants, they give to the immigrants, prefer over themselves, even though they may be in need. And whoever is saved from the selfishness of their own soul, it is they who are truly successful. So, does anybody know when this ayah came down? Or to who? Or why? Does anybody know? Yeah. Yeah, but what was the context behind it? So the context, just for you know, that one of the Ansar had some Muhajiroons that, who are the Muhajiroons? The immigrants that had come from Mecca to Medina to settle in. You might know the stories of many of the people that came from Mecca. When they came to Medina, they had nothing. They had no money. Some of them left their wives. Some of them didn't have parents. And they came to Medina. The Ansar were there. And the Ansar would help them with whatever they could help them with. So what would they help them with? They're extreme cases by them. I mean, we would consider them extreme for now. But for them is normal. Like for example, one Sahabi had multiple wives. And the one of them didn't have a wife. He divorced his wife so he can have a wife. I know this sounds a bit extreme for today's level. I get it. But I just want you to understand the mindset of these people. That they wanted to do anything to help their brethren in Islam. So this story of when Allah sent down this ayah, one of the Sahabis, one of the Ansar, the Muhajirun came, and he wanted to serve them, he wanted to take care of them, but he didn't have enough food. He didn't have enough food to eat. So he told his wife, put the kids to bed, okay, and let them go to sleep. And when the food is being served, just turn the lights off. And you serve them food, and just say that something went wrong with the lights. The lights are not working. So he served them food, and the wife pretended that the lights are not working. Okay? And as they're serving the food, they're eating together, pretending they're all eating, but the only ones who were eating were the Muhajirun. And there's no food, and they all went to sleep hungry that night. So, what am I saying? That this is the love they had for the new Muslims. Are you understanding this? Not here to belittle Muslims. I'm just saying these are real challenges that we have to work through. Yeah? Inshallah. So what is the objective of this course? What are we trying to achieve here? Number one is to understand why the Muslims should be supported, right? And empowered. Number two is to recognize there's a huge reward involved in the new Muslim support. And number three is a simple but effective map how to welcome, empower new Muslims, inshallah. So what is this empowerment? So it's a step-by-step methodology. Number one is to welcome the new Muslim. It's very, very important that we welcome them. Okay, and how do we do it? When do we do it? Number two, to build their spiritual growth, understanding their connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number three is to teach them, the new Muslims, the first steps of Islam. And number four is to empower them. Okay, so this is kind of the outline of the next things we're going to discuss. before we start, let's clarify something, what a new Muslim is. Let's identify, I'm going to stop being emotional, I'm going to try my best. It's just what happened was when I was listening to that video, we have a sister right now that we're working with. Me and my wife have been with her for the last 4 days. We're in the hospital with her. She tried to commit suicide. She doesn't have a place to stay. And she just came to my mind, and it was just that video just brought her back. So that's why, sorry, I don't usually get this way. So, before we start, let's clarify something. What is a new Muslim? What's a new Muslim? What do you guys consider a new Muslim? Yes, brother. Someone who's new to the religion. Okay? Anybody else? Yes, brother. No? What do you guys consider a new Muslim? Yeah.
Someone who is reverting back to Islam for the first time.
Okay.
Or it could even be somebody who left the deen, who is coming back again.
Okay.
And being...
so you consider someone born Muslim to be a new Muslim too if they haven't been practicing?
In a way, yeah.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Anything else? Yeah. I'll give it over to
someone free of sin, but also absent of knowledge as well.
Someone who doesn't have knowledge. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sisters, you know, hear from the sisters. What's a new Muslim? Like, what do you consider a new Muslim? Because once, if you don't know what a new Muslim is, how can you help a new Muslim, right? What do you consider a new Muslim?
We consider them as they are newborn. They don't have knowledge yet about Islam.
Yeah, but at what stage do you consider someone a new? Like, for example,
an infant.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Sheikh Abdurrahim Green, who's the founder of IRA organization, he reverted to Islam. Is he a new Muslim? Why is he not a new Muslim? Because he wasn't born Muslim? I'm asking the question. Yeah.
Someone who doesn't have an inbuilt or established support system, Islamic support system around them, perhaps.
Okay. All right, yeah. He has experience. Okay. So we can all agree that being an experience, so what is the right experience? What experience do you need to have? What experience do you need to have? Is it you need to know pray? What do you need to have? What do you need to know all of fiqh? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Someone who knows the pillars what Islam stands on. Okay. Which is the 5 pillars. Fasting, Hajj, Umrah, prayer. Yes. Good. Yeah, someone who knows the 5 pillars and the 6 pillars of Iman, right? Or 6 pillars of Deen, belief. Okay? So, okay. So from the IRA perspective, you guys are pretty much spot on. We consider someone who is living the 5 pillars of Islam, means he prays, he fasts, he knows the obligation of Hajj, he knows zakat, he knows the shahadateen, he knows the 6 pillars of Iman, means he believes in Allah, he believes in the books, he believes in the Day of Judgment, he believes in the unseen world, he believes in Qadr. He believes in, Allah knows past, present, future, and hypothetical. He knows good and bad. So the one who knows these things and he's living like a Muslim, he could be a new Muslim, maybe 5 weeks, maybe 6 months, maybe 3 weeks. And that could be someone 30 years. he's still a new Muslim. If he doesn't know these things, someone, even if 30 years ago they take the Shahada, and if they don't know the 5 pillars of Islam, and they're not living like a Muslim, and they don't know the 6 pillars of Iman, we still consider them to be a new Muslim, even after 30 years. Because they don't really understand the faith. So the goal for us is to get them to this level. So number 1 is the welcoming stage. So just before we get to the welcome stage, just some questions for you to think about. True or false? Is it compulsory upon a new Muslim to take a bath after taking their Shahada? Yes or no? Somebody said yes? Anybody else? He said no? Okay, good. So the correct answer is not necessary, because eventually he's going to take shower anyway to purify himself. It's not like he's going to live without a shower. We're not like Christians that he has to be baptized. Some scholars say, yeah, it's recommended, you're wiping off your sins because wudu removes your sins, right? So from that, Second question, is it compulsory upon new Muslims to change their name when they accept Islam? It depends. Okay, depends on if it's a bad name, yes. Okay, good. Now, mandatory, yeah. If it's a bad name like killer, murderer, Satan, God warrior, or something that was like very negative, right? To make the names positive, right? Name should be positive. But one of the things I did say yesterday, I'm sure you guys remember if you were here, one thing you're not allowed to do is to change their family name. Yeah. Sure.
My father,
yeah.
He was adopted.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It doesn't reflect.
Okay. You could, that's your personal choice. What we're saying is Muslims should not dictate. We shouldn't go and tell you, you have to change your name. There's nothing wrong with your name. The second part is, if you have a family name, let's say your family name is Smith. So your lineage is back in Smiths, right? Muslims should never, we're not allowed to change your family name. We're not allowed. If you choose to do it, that's your own free will. Right? Because there's a misunderstanding in the Muslim world. If somebody takes Shahada, they're like, okay, you have to change your name. No, you don't. And second of all, you shouldn't change their family name. That's actually wrong, Islamically. Why? Because we know the ayah in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I'm not sure if you know the adopted son of the Prophet ﷺ, that he was his son, and then there's an ayah that came that, I'm paraphrasing, that you're not allowed to change their name. Because people started to believe that son was Prophet ﷺ's son. And in Islam, there's something called inheritance. You can't give inheritance to someone who's not your son. You can give it if you want, but that's not part of, because it can cause conflict with other brothers and stuff. So the point is, there's many reasons, by the way, I'm just giving you one of them. So you're not allowed to change their family. You're disconnecting their culture, their heritage. And Islam is here to adapt to the situation. So there's something in Islam is called urf. Urf basically means Islam accepts urf as a way of life. What do I mean by urf here? Culture. Like for example in Pakistan, India, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, all the Muslim countries, to put your kids in an old age home would be a disaster for that son or that daughter. Yes? It would be a disaster. You'd be like, you are a most terrible son or a daughter that you put your kids in an old age, or your parents on an old age home. But in the West, the urf is, I can't manage my parents. I'm going to put them in an old age home where they're going to get better care than what I can give them. However, the rights of my parents are going to be established. I'm going to visit them every day. I'm going to check on them. I'm going to do everything they need. As a son, I'm going to do my job. Because that's the urf, you can't say that's wrong. Maybe wrong in your culture. So Islam accepts urf as a way of life. Because if Islam negates urf, Islam wouldn't be a global religion. It would be a localized religion just in an Arabian Peninsula. Are you understanding this point, brothers? Like for example, in India, Pakistan, men have to give mahr, money, to marry the woman, yes? Dowry, right? So does the woman in India, Pakistan, because it comes from urf, culture. So some people say, it's wrong because we're following these Hindu cultures. But the scholarly opinion is, as long as the conditions of marriage from Islamically are being established, which is the mahr is given, the wali is there, the acceptance, the kabul is there, and so on, all these conditions are met. Now she's bringing in dowry, bringing in something for the marriage, okay? This is acceptable because that's the urf. It's not wrong. Because it's not going against the first asal. So the point I'm saying is Islam not negating. However, if you make it as you have to bring money and somebody can't bring money, the woman can't afford it. No, that's wrong for sure. But to negate it, if they have the money and this is their culture, and say no, this is wrong, that's where the challenge arises. Are you guys with me? So that's one of the reasons Islam adjusts to the situation, to where you are. It's a bit of an advanced topic, goes into fiqh and Islamic jurisprudence, but I'm not a fiqh and scholar. But just to kind of give you some understanding. The next point is it compulsory upon new Muslims to be circumcised? I would ask the scholars, even the Imam, I would say no. Yeah, it's not necessary because they've come to this age, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to give you a fatwa. Yeah, I would leave that to the Sheikh to answer. New Muslims, women cannot stay with their non-Muslim husband. So somebody's been married to someone for 40 years. They have children together. And now she's become a new Muslimah. And she's married. Of course, what I'm trying to explain, brothers, the Islamic rulings, we don't change. The foundation never changes. But there are always exceptions to the rules, right? But the rules don't become the rules. Are you understanding this point? We said this yesterday. Everybody has 5 fingers. Somebody may have a 6th finger. We don't make rules based on 6 fingers. We make rules on the 5 fingers, and then there's exceptions to the rule. So when there's exceptions to the rule, we try to understand those exceptions. So what are we saying here? So if somebody's been a Muslim, somebody's become a Muslim, if we tell them now, go and divorce your husband, what's she going to do? She's going to say, I'm going to choose my husband over Islam. So don't we want to be the catalyst for someone? So how many of you know maqasid of Sharia, aims and objectives of Islam? Okay, write it down. This will really help you, wallahi, to make life decisions. New Muslim, born Muslim, I think Muslims, we know to know this. Just write this down for yourself. The maqasid of Sharia, the aims and objectives of Islam, are in 5 levels. And the highest level, at the number 5, or let's say number 5, let's give it the number 1, the highest level. Number 1 is to protect your deen. Number 1, you have to protect Islam. Number 2 is to protect your life. Number 3 is to protect your intellect. Number 4 is to protect your lineage and your lineage, your family, and even they say that the fuqaha and the scholars say your izzah, your pride. And at the lowest level is your rizq, number 5, your mal, your inheritance. So the highest thing Islam wants you to protect is your deen. If you lose your deen, everything's game over. So I'll give you an example. I always give this example. If you had all the money in the world, but you had no one in the planet Earth, anyone to share it, your money would be useless. So money is not that important. If you had money and you had kids, but you didn't have, like you had a family, but you didn't have an intellect, how to manage your finance and manage your children and your family, you would completely destroy your wealth, your inheritance. Your children would go out of, I have a brother that's, not in a good state back home. His kids are in a disarray. Why? Because there's no coherent man in the picture. Yeah, highest, number one at the highest is the deen, Islam, after Islam. Number two is to protect life, human life, animal life. Number three is to protect your intellect. Number four is to protect your lineage, your family, your wealth, your family, your izzah. And number five is wealth, the lowest is your mal. Mal, wealth here means your job, your business, your inheritance, your home, your car, your iPad, or whatever it is that you feel is mal, yeah? It's called maqasid of Sharia, means aims and objectives of Islam. In Arabic, it's called maqasid of Sharia, and the English language, you call it aims and objectives of Islam. And this is derived from the Quran and the Sunnah, how scholars deduce that how Allah and His Messenger wants you to protect, what you want me to protect in what order. So, yeah. That's right. That's right. Because Islam comes first. You see what's happening now? I didn't teach this brother the answer. He understood the answer by himself. And that's why I always tell people, whenever I go to universities and colleges and I deal with shabab, I took this from Kamal Makki. I'm not sure, we talked about him yesterday. He was explaining that sometimes teaching the shabab, the youth, how to think is better than giving them the answers. Because you're giving a practical guideline how to practically think, without me telling him what the priorities he already knows. So protecting Islam is more important. And again, there's fiqh on this. Going back to this question about women, being married to non-Muslim. There was Prophet ﷺ, one of his daughters got divorced. And the scholars said for some period that the Prophet ﷺ allowed her to stay with him. Right? I mean, the Sheikh Jammali told me this, so you can always ask him more in detail about this question. The point is, to say that hard no is very problematic. There's fiqh of new Muslim. Actually, I was thinking about this last night. I was thinking that we should get Sheikh Al-Jammali to do the fiqh of new Muslim. This should be a class, should be taught. Fiqh of new Muslims. Yes, I'm giving you practical stuff, but I'm not giving you scholarly opinions because I'm not a fuqaha. So there's fiqh on how to help new Muslims, okay? So we should do that at some point. Good? Are we all good together? So when somebody accepts Islam, the first thing you have to do is to get a hold of them within 24 hours. Why? Because their iman is strong. They're in that feeling, that moment, they love Islam. So the first contact with the new Muslim should be within 24 hours. This is a condition we made in IRA. If somebody accepts Islam, within 24 hours we have to reach out to them. Okay? So it's not just about getting shahadas, brothers. Okay? So the most critical time of the new Muslim, okay, is top 12 challenges become reality at this stage. When do these 12 challenges, you guys were, if the brothers are not here, these are the 12 challenges we discussed. They become real as soon as they become Muslim. This is when they're hitting what? They're starting to think about abandonment by their family, focused on how they're going to hide their Islam, unemployment, what are we going to do? If they talk about Islam at work, maybe they'll get fired, maybe they don't have money, how they're going to continue. They have financial debt, difficulty, victim abuse. All of these things become real. Within 24 hours, they get home, or they're going home, or they just took Shahada and now this is already in their mind. What am I going to do next? So these are some of the challenges that within 24 hours, the new Muslim is already thinking about. Okay? So the most critical time for new Muslims, okay, the 12 challenges become reality. Structured call. So what do? I know most of us like, oh yeah, I know what to say. I know what I say when I call a new Muslim. So, imagine yourself being given details for a new Muslim, time to make the call. Okay. So I just want you to think about something, okay, very quickly. If you got a job working at Apple, right? And you would be given what in the beginning? You'd be given some training, right? You'd be given training how to work at Apple. When would they leave you off to say you're good to go now? Once you've learned the job, once you understand it. It might be 6 months, it might be 12 months. So we just got to keep in mind, just because we're dealing with new Muslims, they're going to be at different levels. Some people are going to be 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, a year. So we have to be patient. So when we do call these new Muslims, going back to this topic here, the first call within 24 hours, when we call it, we should call them, we should have a very structured way of calling them. We shouldn't just say, hey bro, how you doing? How's life? And you don't know what to say. So we should have a practical way of how to make that call. Number one, I'm sorry, it may sound redundant to you, like, wait, this is so simple. But sometimes it needs to be thought out for you, right? Introduce yourself. You're calling behalf of Ira, behalf of yourself, or you took Shahada with so and so. Confirm they have accepted Islam. Okay? So why are we telling you this, brothers? And why is this so important? We have brothers, wallahi, we have brothers in our organization that are giving dawah with us. They're getting all these shahadas. We call the people, they don't even pick up the phone. They don't even pick up the phone. And this is a crisis. That definitely means that there's something wrong on what we're doing. There's definitely something wrong. We have one brother, he had 28 shahadas in the last 6 months. Out of 28, 24 people are not, 26 of them are non-responsive. That's 90% failure. But he's got 30 shahadas, or 28 shahadas. Are you with me, brothers? So there's definitely a crisis. How he's getting the shahadas, what he's saying to them. He's sending pictures with them. He's sending videos about them. They're saying the shahada. We see it. He's reporting them. But there's nothing happening after. I'm just telling you that this is a reality that we're facing. Okay? Yes, we have people that are accepting Islam saying, so we need to understand how to kind of help support the new Muslims by understanding where the challenges are, right? So when we call them, introduce yourself, okay? You're calling them on behalf of XYZ, confirm that they've accepted Islam, welcome them to Islam, okay? Inform them about your role and how you can help, okay? Offer local support and activities, okay? What's happening around them, what they should be involved with, right? Okay, provide your contact detail. Give them your number. Here's my number. You can call me anytime. Okay, arrange a meeting. This meeting should be done in person. And that meeting, when you do this meeting, doesn't necessarily have to be in the masjid. It could be, but many non-Muslims, they become Muslim, they're afraid of mosque. They've been given this hysteria of misunderstanding that masjids, they're afraid to go in mosques. That's why the next Jesus exposition we're doing one day here, one day we're doing a YMCA. Because the first time we did it, there were 2,000 people that showed up. The last year we did it, maybe it was like 20 people, maybe less than that. So we had to figure out what it was, but I'm saying is there is a challenge where people are not understanding what happens in the mosque. We open the mosque, we want them to come, but the point is, if you can maybe meet at a coffee shop to start with, maybe near the mosque, or one of the stores down the road, and then bring them to the mosque, instead of just bringing them straight to the mosque. That could be, I'm just saying it's not fit everyone, but just so you understand, because the goal is to bring them to the mosque. We have, I'm not bad-mouthing, I'm not going to give you any names. We have a brother lives in this community, and it doesn't come to this masjid, of course. He's actually taking new Muslims away from the masjid. This is completely wrong. He's telling new Muslims that Muslims they don't want to help you. He has videos out, YouTube out. He lives in this community in London. And he's telling them, new Muslims don't care about you. You need to stay away from the masjids. This is not right. I'm not going to give you the name. I'm not going to tell you who it is. And you don't need to tell me either, because I'm sure some of you already know. But this is completely wrong. Do you know when we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in salah, do you know what one of the reasons, what are the fawaids, the benefits? Do you know what it is? You know what it is? Let's say you and I are fighting. I don't like you for some reason, you did something, and you and I fighting. I said this to one of the brothers in the masjid where I'm at in Bowmanville. One of the fawaids, the benefits is, when I'm saying Allahu Akbar, and I'm standing next to you, I can't continue hating you. Because I'm going to see you every single day. At some point we're going to reconcile. So to bring the community together is the masjid. It's not to take people away from the masjid. This is completely wrong. When the youth go out and they go camping and fishing and hiking, you know, many organizations, they're like, oh, we need to do something with our youth, and we're losing the youth, and oh my God, we got to do all these activities. And they're taking them away from the masjid, which is fine. But the goal isn't to keep them in the basketball court. The goal is to build the brotherhood so they can come back to the masjid. The goal isn't to keep them in fishing and camping. The goal is so they can connect back to the masjid. Are you with me, brothers? So the point is, arrange a meeting, right? Set up the meeting in a neutral spot, and then eventually bring them to the mosque when they're ready, inshallah. Okay? And then, is there anything else I can help with? Ask them and you know, let them know that we're there. So the first meeting, what's the meeting about? Establish a good relationship. Okay? Shahada review. Okay? So basically what we're saying, review the Shahada with them. Okay? And re-establish, you know, the importance of prayer. So here's a question. What does that mean? Review the Shahada. What is reviewing the Shahada? What does that mean? Yeah. Okay, so what are they? What is it that you're telling them? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, oneness of Allah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the covenant and obeying the Prophet and taking him as a role model, of course, right? Are you with me, brothers and sisters? Okay. What time is Salah, by the way? Okay. 8 minutes. Okay. Does anybody have wudu here? Or anybody missing wudu? 7 minutes. If you, I can just go because just the time is very limited. Yeah. So, how to establish a good relationship? Get to know each other. Define timings, the availability. When can you be with them? Remember your brother and sister in Islam means, you know, think about them. What's going on? Where are they going? Where are they at? Do not make it overburdening. Okay. It is not an. It's not an interrogation session. It's not like, oh, what are you doing? You're doing this wrong. You're doing this wrong. So this is really important, brothers. I've seen some brothers, wallahi, every time you meet them, all they do is just correct you. I'm not saying people shouldn't be corrected. I have brothers that just, hey, brother, you know, you don't have your pant right. Hey, brother, you know, in Salah, you didn't want to do 2 to 3. Oh, but okay, fine, I get it. I'm not saying that we shouldn't correct people. It's like you become like this haram police, yes? You don't even know me. The new Muslims, they feel like, wait, you know, as Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, what did she say? If the ahkams would come first, we would not be Muslim. Right? I'm not saying that rulings are not important, but build the relationship first. Get to know one another. How can you correct someone you don't even know? One of the conditions of correcting someone is you need to know the person's hal. You need to know where is he coming from. Who he is what is his understanding. This is why some of the brothers, they study a little bit of Islam and they become very arrogant. They think they know everything. Wallahi, it's very problematic. So yes, when we see someone doing something wrong, we have to help them, correct them, and nasiya privately. I get all of those things. But let's build the relationship. New Muslims, just a couple of days ago, this new Muslimah, what happened is, she's brand new, right, to Islam, brand new. Not even maybe 2 days in. I took her downtown, me and my wife were trying to find her a place. And we were at Dundas Square, just didn't have anywhere for her to go. And she was talking to some guys. She's still a new Muslim, right? So these guys weren't like just any guys. They were, what are they called? Nation of Islam? No. They're called Israelite, Hebrew Israelites. So they're not nice guys she's talking to. So these are the worst of worst people that, their whole motto is. I'm not sure if you know them. So I just wanted to make sure that, she doesn't end up in a negative situation. Of course, she feels she knows what she's doing. So I told her, can you go back over there? The sisters are calling you. I just said it like that, just to kind of not say it in front of them. And she's like, if this is what Islam is, I don't want to be part of it. That ticked her off. That little statement to just go back. And even though I came from a place I wanted to help her, not hurt her anyway. What I'm trying to say is, we have to have a relationship with people. Right? So anyway, of course, there's misunderstanding from her, maybe the way I said it, and so on and so forth. So anyway, having a good relationship, define timing, availability, remember your brothers and sisters in Islam. Don't make it an interrogation center session. Understanding the Shahada. Should we pause here until after Salah? Yes. I think we should pause here now. Inshallah. Okay.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Maybe general talk. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, my dear brothers and sisters. For the second day, alhamdulillah, we have a great sessions about new Muslim mentorship training. And it's still going to be for another hour, inshallah. And all should be doing our best to make the masjid is welcoming environment and to accommodate everyone and to know what we should do, and we know what we should not do before knowing what we should do, because we don't want to cause harm. Sometimes we come from the point that we want to give benefit, but we causing without realizing harm. So we need really to be agent of goodness. May Allah bless you all. I have with me here Brother Ali Uthman. He will give you a short reminder.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. So brothers,